Hey there, YouTube friends. It's Rainy with No Idle Hands, and I'm back. So last night I put a little post out that said I'm playing the ultimate game of Yarn Chicken, which I am. So to recap, there was a lady who wanted a certain project. Some of you are kind of creeped out because it's a tarantula, but I will put a definite warning before I put that out. So right now I'm just in the block stage. And I've been trying to use up, as painful as it is, I've been trying to use up my little bits and bobs that I just had laying around from when I cleaned up my craft room when I moved here from Missouri. So, not to be, I still got my own little stash. I got my little ends that go in my other Afghan. But this is all stuff from when I cleaned up, and it's not parts of any projects. It's just, I'm sure it was, but this is before I actually started. In fact, let's see, I was traveling a year before we decided we were coming to Texas. And so, I was working on, let's see, I started the travel Afghan, the travel blanket in May, June of 22. And so I had all this other stuff that I've been using for this Afghan. It was still back in Missouri, not even being thought about at the time. So anyway, that's just a little backstory on that. So, when we were packing up to move, of course, I'm not going to leave any yarn behind, which I still have some yarn in skeins back in Missouri, but they'll be used eventually, hopefully. But I painstakingly, kept everything, measured it out-ish, kind of approximated. I wasn't exact, I'm not that. So, let me show you. So, I sorted it out into 20 to 30 inches and 30 to 40 inches, and this is a new one, 40 to 50 inches. I was using, I did that because, well, I don't know if, okay, so this is going to be kind of a rambly one. So starting back in 2019, when my mom passed away, I inherited her entire yarn stash, and so, it was just in the state of how she left it. I just took over, and, there were balls and skeins and pieces of this and that, and so this is why I'm saying I was cleaning up my yarn, because my mom had enough for like 3 yarn stores over. And so, anyway, I kept it all. And at that time I kept it all. And then when we decided we were moving, I gave a huge chunk of it away to family and kept a big part of it. So, but it's still, like I say, in Missouri. So anyway, to the current project and how this equates to Yarn Chicken. So, with this project, there are 4 different blocks, each consisting of 5 rounds. And so, remember I had the little bags. What you saw is what I can't use in this Afghan because they're too small. So, to put in perspective, the smallest block on the first round took about 50 inches of yarn. So here I am measuring out to make sure I have enough, because in the beginning I started out just, going and going and going. I was making these, let me show you. I was making these little centers right here, and if I had enough, fine. If I didn't, I tossed it aside. And I was like, this is crap. I made like a ton of these that I just couldn't use because I thought it was enough, but then it wasn't quite. It was like two double crochets short. So I got tired of that. So I took one apart that was actually long enough, and I measured it, and I did that for the centers of all the different 4 blocks. But now I'm to the point of, I've got all the little bits and bobs used, And now I've got this. I mean, it's ordinarily not this disorganized, but it's been in the bucket and dumped out, and in the bucket and dumped out. So, yeah, my little tails are starting to get a little messed up. But like, so I may take this little ball here and try to do the next little round on here. I mean, I could measure it all out. Well, in fact, it's double. I can tell you, it's double of what this one's going to be, plus a little. So yeah, but now we're getting up in like 100 inches of yarn, and it's getting more complicated because this is just the smallest one. I think the biggest one, which I only have to make 2 of those, but the biggest one, it's like, I don't even think I measured it. I think it's above 100 inches just for the center part. So, now the game of yarn chicken begins, because I've got these balls, and, so, you know, and it's going to get frustrating as I go along, because I have to make something like 60 or 70 blocks in total. Well, here's some finished ones. So I decided to go around each one in black to kind of take away some of the busyness, and they'll hook up together. And so, I mean, it's a cool project. I love doing it. I love sitting here. I'm, you know, most of you know, I'm a night owl, and, cause I work the night shift. And, so last night I sat at the table for, shoot, probably forever. I mean, almost all night long, sitting here doing this project. And, I use my kitchen table, so it works for me. I mean, I love my new kitchen table, so, but, so that's kind of where I'm at and why this is yarn chicken, because I have no set amount, and I don't want to use, I mean, some of these balls, yes, I've actually gone in my yarn stash and made little yarn balls because I didn't have enough variety, and I was getting kind of upset with some of my color choices that I had to make, and I'm like, no. Because like this one here, I would not have done it this way. I would not have put this and this together. But at the time, that's all I had. So, and then this one, oh Lord, what happened here? You know, I used what I had, but now I went and dug in my other, I wasn't going to bring out whole skeins, because you can imagine how weird this project would have become. So just rough estimate, if I'm saying there's 70 squares involved in this project, and not including the black round, there's 4 rounds. 4 times 70 is 280. So that would be 280 different colors. I don't have that much yarn. I mean, I do, but not that many different skeins. I wish I had 280 different skeins of yarn. But, you know, I'm going to reuse colors and things like that. It's just, you can see where I'm going with this. I didn't want to get out my whole entire yarn stash because, like I said, I am working on the kitchen table. And so when I get done working, it all goes away, and, you know, it all gets put up and put back in its normal spot, so the kitchen table can be used as a kitchen table again during the daylight hours. But, you know, so I have rambled on enough for this video. It's been almost 10 minutes, and I just wanted to kind of give you a little explanation as to why it's yarn chicken. So I will keep updating you, because this is until my 100 days of Halloween gets here. This is kind of like, well, I'm going to have 2 different 100 days of Halloween projects, which, yeah, this will be one of my projects, because it's spiders. Spiders are Halloween. But no, instead of doing an everyday 100 days of Halloween, I'm going to do just a once weekly video. And so I'm hoping that by the time I want to make my first video, that maybe my other project will be here. So it was still floating around England the last I knew. Hadn't really made it across the pond yet. So mail is much slower in England, I guess. Anyway, so if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Give me a little comment down below. If you have questions, I'm going to put the link, if I can find it, the link to where I bought this pattern. It is a paid-for pattern. I believe I bought it off Etsy. I'll put it down below if you're intrigued and you just, love a mystery as much as I do. I'll put it down below. And my email will be down below. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to email me, it'll be down below. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.